Hi everyone, Miki Jacobs here. Welcome to Angel Chat as always. Thank you for joining in, I appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about kids in heaven. The reason I wanted to talk about it because I don't know if I mentioned the last topic where unfortunately there are more and more cases of people, children and baby and young kids that having crossing over in such young age. And obviously with the work I do, I see a lot of parents that come to me in order to connect to the children and ask me as to where their child is, what's happened at the time of death, and if their child is safe. So I kind of thought I would talk a little bit about it in this week topic. So if you happen to experience someone that lost a child, or you yourself experience loss of a child, obviously at any age is very tragic, let alone when the kids are younger, then the first and foremost you have to know by my teaching now over those years that I do have Angel Chat, that of course we are safe when we cross over. We go back home into the spirit world, into our permanent home, which where we came from. So whether we are 90 years old or 9-year-old, we do go back to the arms of our spirit guides, family, departed loved ones, pets. We are welcome. The soul of the child is welcome, but by faces that familiar to it, as well as pets. And then, of course, the soul recognizes as to what's happened at the time of death, that indeed it doesn't have a body anymore. So there is great welcome, great love for us human souls, again, regardless of the age. Of course, I can understand that if a child, specifically very young, maybe as a baby or few years old, that the parents are still here, grandparents are still here, and other families still here, and that's why moms and dad come to me and who greeted them. Of course, that child, once the soul exits the physical body, it's not a child anymore. It's a soul, and there are soul mates that we have in the spirit world, including our beautiful spirits, our team, as I call it, that accompany us while the child were here on planet Earth. So it doesn't matter as to if the parents still on planet Earth and the child cross over in a young age, that soul is well loved, well taken care of, and no matter who the people are here, when we cross over, when the child crosses over to the spirit world, there are a lot of familiar souls, familiar faces, if you will, that would come and greet it. Specifically, if the child grandparent already cross over, because obviously grandparent, whether it is here on planet Earth or in the spirit world, give us great comfort, for the most part, obviously, great comfort. So if a child or a baby cross over and one of the grandparents happen to cross over prior, they would welcome the child, of course. As the soul get accustomed to being back in the spirit world without the body, then the child's soul would go through the process, as I call it, that we all going through, meaning visiting everyone, getting accustomed or used to being without a body, which kind of a soul, it takes us some time to be without the physical body that we carry for whatever years we were here on planet Earth, and then reviewing the life, see what went wrong, what went right when it's come to the life, and obviously review the transition, the time of death, specifically if the time of death was premature of the pre-designed plan, for whatever reason, reckless, if I unfortunately see accident where children drown, or any sort of accident that are real accident, as you know by now, I call them sometimes, meaning the unfortunate thing is that the child supposed to live long life, and the life got short due to some reckless accident. So yes, your children or children of people that lose a child are safe. The soul, of course, continue its existence behind the physical, the death of the physical body, and we get a lot of love at the moment that we exit the physical body, that a child exit the physical body. Of course, in the same way as of any age, as I just mentioned, if the passing, which I unfortunately see a lot of kids right now that cross over in a young age from cancer, from that specific illness, there is a lot of that on planet Earth right now, and the transitions are very difficult, painful illness, even with all the medicine and trying to cure the child, and sometimes unfortunately the treatment or the medicine worse than the illness itself. So the transition is very difficult. So when the child crosses over, when the soul is free of the disease, of the ill body, then there is even more love, more welcome. There are angels that come in over and greet the soul. The soul would immediately accompany to a very relaxing atmosphere away from planet Earth, away from the physical realm of planet Earth, to more a soothing, more fun, if you will, sort of existence, other planet or other form of reality. So when we use the phrase that after death the child is free of pain, indeed it's more free than we can even imagine. Not only it's free and happy and in peace, but obviously shed the physical body and back home into the spirit world. As to, I thought I will touch briefly as to the grief after a child, after a parent loses a child, which is of course the ultimate sadness, which is one of the hard part of my work when I deal with parents that lose child. And as I mentioned in other topic, that in order to overcome the loss, you need to rely on spirituality. You need to grow more spiritually, feed, energetically speaking, the idea that indeed there is no death, and the child is happy, is in peace, no more suffering, no illness, and the transition went good, meaning the soul exit the body into the arm of its soul mate, whether it is a soul, a spirit guide, or other soul that were in the spirit world while the child was here on planet Earth. So educate yourself, or with a little bit more spirituality, books, any material that would awaken your memory as to where we came from, and certainly when we're going after death. And when you lose a child and you don't add any spiritual knowledge, awareness, meditation, prayers, of course, then you will tend to suck into the pain, suck into the grief, that will drag you down like a wild river, and there is a very, very slow recovery if you are somewhat not spiritual, as opposed to if you are spiritual and you rely on the concept as to where your child is after that, then I find the grief process of those parents to be much, or family member, of course, not just parent, the sibling, grandparents, to be much faster, and people can indeed, although never forget about the child, of course, how can you, but overcome the loss and even continue with life and connect to the soul of the child once the grief is overcome. Also, of course, the more you grieve, the less you will sense any signs of your child trying to provide you with in life. There's a lot of times the spirits of children that cross over are very desperate to make a contact with their parents, but because of the grief, because of the closeness, a lot of time the mind also would create an internal dialogue as to why me, guilt, did I do something, could I have done something better, even if it was completely out of the parents' power to do anything about the ultimate, tragedy of the passing, the more you grieve, the more you block yourself, because grief considered to be heavy energy, of course, and you close up the channel as to where signs come in from spirits from the child. So that's another reason as to why if you know someone that experienced loss of a child, or if you lost a child, obviously speed your spiritual process, go right back into it, with knowledge, be proactive about going back and staying connected with spirituality / spirits in order for you to connect with the child as well. And the last time, I always like to say, again, whoever we lose, whether it is a child or a grown-up, obviously they do not want to see us sad. Of course, they never want to see us sad. A child that was here would be alarmed or sad if it would see his mom and dad is sad, obviously. So the same thing goes for the spirit world. You even kind of time it by so much more, every feeling is obviously without the body, so everything is stronger. So certainly the soul of the child that was on planet Earth do not want to see the parents grieve, sad, devastated for years and years and years to come. So not only that, relying on spirituality to rise above the grief, or rather try to lessen it, or even get over the grief of the loss of a child, not only it's good for you, not only it's good to the connection, but it's good for the spirit, for your child essentially as well. So I hope that would help a little bit. Obviously, there's a lot of information about that, but I'm hoping that you experience such a great loss, or know someone. Perhaps you can know what to tell the people, how to help them by the few tips that I provided this topic. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.